and still being able to be independent, not have a distribution company, but we're distributing, we're creating, we're directing, producing, creating, and distributing our own product. So. Well, I think we were just having a conversation about, as filmmakers and media makers and creators, the importance of really having ownership of my film and what represents my community. And Straight Outta Hunters Point 2, which has, just recently been released and is, as we speak, being premiered in art house independent theaters throughout the country. So we got like maybe 15, 20 cities lined up. New York, LA, and a couple other cities in between, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington. And we just had a great 1 month run at the Roxy Theater, which is in San Francisco. And my approach is really ground up, using my film and using a sector of different ways in which to market and reach the people without having these high overhead costs. The success out the gate has been really, it's been incredible. I mean, how can, just to know that people value my work and my art, and more importantly, the story resonate with people, not just from my community, but outside of the community. And that's evident in the success of Straight Outta Hunters Point 2. And people a lot of times judge success by numbers, and so having great box office numbers and great reviews, so I'm excited. I mean, I'm not in the hole, I'm not in debt. Our independent company owns our, we own our masters, we own our, we own everything. And I think ownership and equity is really important in terms of we're able to tell the stories we want to tell and have the economic impact and respect that we deserve. We gotta own our own stories. Just like you own your own house, that's real estate too. So that's my approach, and I'm not compromising. So they can't come to me and say, Epps, can we give you this? If it's not right, I walk away. So I gotta really be on my terms.
Now, do you see yourself as a documentarian, or are you a feature film, or are you trying to do it all?
Well, I'm a creator. I do film, documentary filmmaking have been my breakthrough. That's what allowed me to break through and establish myself and who I am and the work that I create. So that was a breakthrough. But I wear many hats. I approach stories from a lot of times from a moral perspective and also from a passionate perspective. I usually tend to be drawn into things that I'm really passionate about. And so Straight Outta Hunters Point, which is a community that I grew up in, and as you know, they're dealing with a myriad of many issues, and a lot of challenges there's a lot of challenges in the community, but there's also a lot of hope and a lot of promise and a lot of potential. And so us being at the crust of this great, redevelopment and change that's among us, I just thought it was really important to tell this story in an honest and an authentic way. And so I jumped into the fray and and as always, I let the community tell the story. And so I've done commercials and PSAs and worked with the young brothers doing rap music videos. So I cover everything. I just like telling stories, whether it's short stories or long stories or what have you. It's all I look at it part of story making, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to directing my first feature film, which is a narrative, which I think is I'm excited, and I think it's a good space to be because I've sort of built a name and a momentum and a recognition of myself as a documentary filmmaker. So I'm really excited about what that looks like when I cross over to a feature film. But it's exciting and people are very interested, and And I'm ready to take on that challenge.
Who's Kevin Epps watching?
You know, I watch a little bit of everything, but I draw from my people, man. We got so many stories and people in our community and elders that they're not visual stories, but they're oral stories. And I sit down and I take all that in and internalize it, and I try to use that as my moral compass to tell stories that I think, reflect, the community that I come from.
What kind of equipment do you use?
Well, you know what? I don't discriminate, to be honest. Right now, we got a couple of cameras. We got a couple of HD cameras. We got a couple of 5Ds, 7Ds. So, but I really don't discriminate, to be honest. I mean, storytelling and capturing moments that you may never capture again is kind of important no matter what medium you use to capture it. So I'm very open in terms of that, so I don't really discriminate. But I try to use quality production stuff because I think it's important to represent it like it should be represented. Even when I'm dealing with our counterparts, or I go to sets where it might be a few white guys or other people, I want to show up with the right package gear and the right production to represent, in a way that's respectable. So that's how I carry it.
Are you collaborating with any other filmmakers or?
Oh yeah, there's a ton of filmmakers I collaborate with. There's a couple of local brothers, Lance Burton, there's Jock, there's a couple other filmmakers. I'm involved. I'm on the board of the San Francisco Black Film Festival. Work with the brother over there, David Roach, with the Oakland International Film Festival, and just trying to patronize the institutions that really represent our community, and I feel have our community, at heart. And so, yeah, I do collaborate.
So now you got something coming up. You're going to be working on something new.
Yeah, I'm working on this feature film, and I'm excited about that because we're working with a lot of theater groups and community-based art spaces that have been working with youth and adults in our community in that capacity. So I'm really excited about the challenge of working with actors and actresses because it's definitely a different process. I like what that feels like in the preparation of releasing my work through the theatrical venue. And so Straight Outta Hunters Point 2 is a great success in which we're building off of. Of course, it's not just a one-man show. It requires the work and the input and the collective effort for a group of talented people. And so I've been able to sort of learn and prepare myself for it by watching other filmmakers that have made films that I work with, looking at them and just kind of looking at, how do I need to approach this, and really surrounding myself with a group of like-minded, talented people, because it is a team effort in order to get things done. So I looked at a few issues or a few things that really, stuck out and really resonated with the community, and I took those stories and started to use the community as a narrative structure, and with all these different meetings and events, and really try to define the current state of Bayview Hunters Point and where it was at in this present day, and what and which would be different if we look at it in a few years. So I just wanted to capture this period in this moment for record's sake. So if there's any beyond doubt a contradiction, if that community changed and it'd be all white or suburbanite, people will always know that one day there was this community that existed there, and here's that story.